The new CNN polling out today with an important look at the state of the race in the battlegrounds that have proven to be most important. Where things stand in 6 battlegrounds. There is a whole lot of data. We're going to get into it. The top lines. Harris has the advantage in Michigan and Wisconsin. Trump has the advantage in Arizona. And then there's the proof of just how close the race is 60-plus days out. They're essentially tied in the key battlegrounds, Nevada, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. Dive into these states. Harris has an eye-popping lead over Trump among women. Trump has a huge edge over Harris when it comes to the economy. And remember, 6 days from the debate, just 62 days to the election. But people are going to be voting even before that. As CNN political director David Chalian likes to remind us all of the time. Importantly, I gave a bit of the overview. Can you dive me into the states and these top line numbers?
Yeah, like you said, Kate, a whole lot of data. I urge everyone also to check it out on our website. But in these brand new CNN polls, you see how close this race is. You noted these are the top line numbers here, that Harris has an outside the margin of error slight lead in Wisconsin. She also has an outside the margin of error slight lead in Michigan. You also noted that in Arizona, Donald Trump has a slight outside the margin of error lead. But in Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, no clear leader within the margin of error. This shows that the candidates have multiple paths to 270, but that this is indeed a toss-up race. And you mentioned the gender gap. Take a look here. Look at these numbers, Kate. Among female likely voters in these states, you see this is a 17 percentage point lead in Wisconsin among female voters for Harris, a 16 percentage point lead in Michigan. You see it gets more narrow down here in Arizona. But the flip side of that is male voters. You see Donald Trump's advantage, very significant with male voters. 18 points in Nevada, 15-point advantage in Pennsylvania. That's the gap when we talk about the gender gap. Harris's advantage with women, in addition to Trump's advantage with men, and who wins that battle, who extends that advantage, could have a lot to say in these battleground states.
How does it break down, and what is sticking out to you in terms of, you're talking about a gender gap, but how about how things are falling along racial lines?
Well, if you take a look here, among black voters where we oversampled, and able to look at the black voting population in 3 of the states, Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, take a look here. 86% of black voters in Michigan are with Harris, 11% with Trump. 85% in Georgia, 84% of black voters support in Pennsylvania. I just want to note that in Pennsylvania in 2020, Joe Biden, according to exit polls, his number among black voters was 92%. So there's still room here for Harris to grow and consolidate the black vote, which is going to be necessary if she is going to win in places like Georgia and Pennsylvania, which are clearly in play here in toss-up races. Among Latino voters, you see in Nevada that Kamala Harris has a big advantage there. She has an 8 percentage point advantage. But look at the advantage that Trump has in Arizona with Latino voters. He has 43% to 37%, a 6 percentage point advantage in Arizona. So Latinos split here in those 2 southwestern states. And if you look at the white voters without college degrees, this is a Trump base constituency, obviously. You see his huge numbers with this group. You see that this is a trouble sign for Harris. She also, in a place like Georgia, is not doing well with white college-educated voters. She probably wants to make up some ground with white college-educated voters across these battlegrounds as well, Kate.